Hey guys, it's Faye from Feisworld Media. This video is highly requested. Some of you guys want to know how to perform better, sound, look better during your Zoom interviews. Now I understand that some of the offices are already open and people are now going back to work. So some of the interviews are happening in person. However, in many places of the world still today, that employers may choose to interview first, sometimes on the phone, and then immediately after that, you may get a Zoom interview. So in this video, I want to explain to you how to better prepare for the unpredictable. So let's have a fun chat. If you find any bits helpful, please consider sharing with a colleague, a friend, family, and leave me in the comments below what else you have learned through your virtual Zoom interviews. So tip number one is that you really want to show up not only on time, but ideally 10 to 15 minutes before. I know that's not always an option because most of the Zoom interviews will not have the door with the screen open when you hop on, but in general, it's still a good idea to show up 10 minutes before. Zoom doesn't always give you the option to check your audio, needless to say video, before the other host or the employer hops on. This makes it even more necessary to practice your Zoom interviews on your own the day or a few days before the showtime. You can do that simply by doing what I am doing. You can actually record yourself on screen. You can use the built-in record to cloud or record to local drives Zoom recording feature to make sure that you're using the right camera, you're presenting it correctly, you're practicing some of the tips that we're sharing today. Now you remember to show up early, about 10 minutes before, and you remember to test and practice, especially your audio and your video, the day or a few days before. The next tip is also very important. As soon as you hop on, you're eager to meet your potential new employer. You do want to just quickly check your sound and your video. So your video going to be trivial if you're super blurred or clearly you're using the wrong camera. Like the one I'm using is Logitech 4K. This is a Logitech Brio. You can use the regular Logitech 1080p. Again, usually the webcam that's not built into your computer usually delivers much higher quality. Just double check, and audio is the most important thing. So as you can see right now, I am using an external mic. You don't need this exact model. You don't need a fancy one. So the Blue Yeti, if you're already a podcaster or a content creator, plug it right in. But there are also much cheaper microphones that you can use. You can even use the headset that comes with your smartphones. And sometimes, by the way, when it comes to AirPods, it can deliver amazing quality or doesn't connect correctly to your Mac. I've seen that happen before. So I really do recommend that you have an external mic, simple, place near where you are, near your face, so your employer can hear you correctly. By the way, having good video and sound quality is especially crucial if you're applying for a tech job, for instance, or a media job or PR job. Your employer will expect you to deliver better presentations virtually as well as in person. Tip number 4, ensure a quiet environment. I know that we don't always have control over our environment. Maybe you have young children at home, maybe you have puppies or pets. So make sure that you communicate with people who are in the house. So ask them to quiet down and maybe take your dog out for a walk before, or let them out in the yard somewhere. So this way you can ensure a relaxing and relatively quiet environment. If not, if on the day something dramatic happens, there's a lot of background noise and there's no way for you to avoid it. I know how it feels. I grew up in Beijing. I lived in the city of Boston for 10 years. Construction sirens would just go off at any moment. If that is the case, what you can use is this amazing software called Crisp. Now, I have a separate video to show you exactly how to set it up, and literally I could be clapping, playing really loud music from Spotify, and you won't even notice a thing. So give it a shot, maybe install it, play with it, especially if you live in the city. Dress the part. You see, earlier I was wearing my pajamas top, but for this video, I decided to put on a little leather jacket. So for your interview, make sure you dress the part. I'm not asking you to overdo your makeup with put on your necessarily the fanciest shirt. The most important thing is to bring your real, authentic self, bring that energy, smile a little. These things don't cost money and it will project your energy in a very different way. At the very least, it will show your employer that you're excited for the job. And please pick out your outfits ahead of time. This is not a decision you want to make 5 minutes before your interview. Clean your background. I'm not asking you to remove the furniture and every piece of whatever behind you in the video. I'm saying this because I actually don't recommend a virtual background. See, in my current environment, I'm not a neatest person. I have paintings, I have my guitar, ukulele, you can't really see my stack of books, right? It's a pretty busy background, yet it shows my employer who I am as a person. And that part is really important. Yes, it's important to get through the interview questions, but when you have a bit of time, in the end, your employer might ask, hey, Faye, who painted that painting over there? Or are you into the guitar? That's something I also do in my spare time. You never know, that can actually spark up a lot of ideas. And those extra questions at the end of the interview could just be the ones that set you apart from your competition. Don't believe me? Check it out. I just turned on virtual background, and as I'm moving around quickly, you see how blur everything is. And it just feels like I'm floating somewhere and doesn't give me any personality, whether I use a generic background or something different. You know, one of those fake office backgrounds actually can throw people off. So use your natural background. Even if it's in your bedroom, just make sure you make your bed and move anything distracting out of the way. And off you go. What if your room environment really is less than ideal? Let's just say. Maybe you don't have a lot of natural light. So as my room, as you can see, I have two pretty big windows, and to fill it in, I also have a ring light to my right here. So just to demonstrate what I mean by low light. Right now it's about 5 p.m. and I still have some light over here, but you can see that I have a bit of a yin-yang face because it's kind of dark over here. I do have a room light. I'm going to turn it on for you to see the difference. So you see immediately it fills in the light. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to turn it off and show you another setting if you don't have a good room light, and that is right here under video settings. You can turn on a setting called adjust for low light right here. On, off. You see, that's actually not bad. And once you turn it on, you actually have the ability to either keep it on auto or you can do it manually. So I tend to keep it on auto. Now there's another option you notice called touch up my appearance. So I usually have it turned on about 30-40%. That may just be all you need. So in this case, you have some blemishes on your face, and this can actually go a long way. And it's quite natural. Really important is where to focus your eyes. The only way for me to appear like I'm really engaging with you, my audience, I have to look into the camera. Now, my camera is actually slightly above my laptop, like most people's, right? You just clip it on. Now, if I'm looking at the other person on the screen right now, this is where my eye levels are gonna be. So I'm looking at the employer, this is it. But this actually, looking into the camera like this actually takes practice. Now, if you're nervous that you're not gonna be able to do this, one thing you can do is bring your Zoom window like so, shown on screen, closer to the top of the screen. Whether you're using a desktop or laptop, doesn't matter. Bring it up closer to where the webcam is. So this way, when you look at somebody on the screen, your eyes are kind of close enough to them. And I get it. When you talk to someone, whether it's an employer or otherwise, you actually want to make quote unquote eye contact. You want to see how the other person is responding, what they're doing, and you want to smile with them. And there's certain projections you're living, you're experiencing. But after the fact that I've been a creator for a little while, I'm actually quite comfortable making eye contacts right through my webcam. When I look into the webcam, I can really focus in on the conversation, paying attention to audio only, to their voices. You can sense a lot, even without the clear visual of their faces. So please practice, record, and you'll see exactly what I mean. My final tips are related to file sharing. First of all, if you need to share anything, whether it's an image or a video, be sure to have those files ready. So if I were you, I would not recommend that you go dig into the download folder or in iCloud somewhere or Dropbox. Make sure that you create a folder, for example, called music, right there on your desktop. So I also recommend if you have a very cluttered desktop, this is the time to clean it up before your interview. All you have to do once it's time to share something, make sure to click on share screen and you can pull up a window. There are also advanced settings that help you share computer audio, such as this option right here under advanced. Now, if you need to share video, I recommend you use this option because it will automatically check down below, share sound, and optimize for video clips. This way, if you're gonna showcase one of your videos or a YouTube video, whatever it may be, it would transfer the sound and video quality a lot better. Now, you can also do that directly through basic setting, but when you do that, for instance, when I share my desktop and there's a video there, I will have to manually check these boxes. All right, that's the difference. These are the basic tips to nail your Zoom interviews. Now, there's actually a lot more to your career, defining your vision, developing your goals, and landing a career that you love, not just for 3 months, but for a much longer period of time. This is where I want to invite you to check out my dear friend Allison Cheston's course. And she specializes in helping young people, especially those who are still in college, fresh out of college, and in their 20s to land their dream job. I remember when I was that age, I was really puzzled by my career. I didn't know how to pivot. I didn't know whether I was on the right track. That was not an easy time. I wish I had someone like Allison on my side. I left her website, contact information, and her brand new course in the description below, and I welcome you to check it out. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you.